Hey guys, welcome back to another action figure review. The long-awaited gun girl Jessica Aster is finally being shipped out and into people's hands. From the figure producer Romankey, we have a brand new series of figures to check out from them. The front of the box features some glossy blue artwork of Jessica herself, along with the words "Awaken" and "Gun Girl Jessica Aster." Fans familiar with Guns N' Roses will see the similarity of the album art. Over at the back of the box, we have a faded out vehicle and the glossy anime style of Jessica printed on top with no other text here. We have a holographic genuine sticker on the side as well as a few other logos. And at the top, a cute doodle warning about operating the weapons with your bare hands. Instead of the normal tissue we see for high quality figures, Romankey has opted to use a plastic bag instead. Removing the figure from the bottom allows you to easily slide out the entire tray in one simple pull. Like most import figures, the figure itself is covered in plastic wrap to help against paint rubbing during shipment. It's no surprise that Romankey's Jessica is heavily inspired by the insanely popular Rebecca from the Cyberpunk Edgerunners Anime series. From the robotic arms to the crazed expressions and skimpy clothing, this figure resembles Rebecca with only a few minor changes to keep things unique enough from each other. Romankey is a relatively new company, where they introduced themselves to the action figure scene with their impressive blank bodies, and continue to bring up the hype with more reveals at the Wonder Festival in Shanghai. While there's not much backstory to this character, most collectors will appreciate the attempt to bring us a homage to Rebecca. As of this review, it's your only option until other toy companies release their own. Let's take a look at some of the details. The pale anime style face has big glossy teal eyes, cybernetic tattoos under and around her eyes, and a thin line for the eyebrows. The nose is actually sculpted in, impressively with an actual bridge and nostrils, and a small mouth in the light pink color. Her hair is colored turquoise, similar to Rebecca, that's parted down the center and flows to the back. Over on the side, we have a much better look at the cybernetic neck, dark gray and red machine parts mixed together in a heavy mechanical look. We have a few more details here, like the sculpted ear and the hair accessory that ties the hair up into two ponytails. At the back, we have another look at the mechanical neck and a small peek at the pink tattoos on the body at the base of the collar of her neck. Two turquoise ponytails are sculpted in long strands of hair that reach all the way up to her shoulders. Taking a look at the chest, we have a slim body where the chest is covered in a rubberized slate blue colored bra. More pink tattoos can be seen on the neck collar and on the stomach of the figure in a cybernetic design. We continue with the sports bra wrapping around to the back, and not much more detail here on the mostly nude body. The thin shoulders have no muscle tone or any other details specific to this area. The impressive robotic hands of Jessica are finely detailed with the metallic red hot rod style paint, with the mechanics being a dark gunmetal color. 3 fingers and the thumb each have their own large joints that are actually posable. Underneath the hands, we have more of that gunmetal machinery and a better look at the joints of each finger and thumb. Over at the waist, a small slate blue underwear is worn here, with once again not much other details other than the grooves of the sculpt from the articulation. A similar scene over at the back, with only the underwear being the only detail in the area. On the thighs, we have a matching pink tattoo wrapping around the right thigh, with a small amount of muscle sculpted into this area. Thin legs finish off the body's details with a unique bend to them that helps out with the articulation later on. And lastly, we have the shoes of the figure, a futuristic style of blue sneakers stained with oils, grime, and comically oversized in style. Let's check out the articulation. First up, the ponytails are on their own ball joint and have a good range of motion, perfect for moving out of the way. The head is on its own ball joint, allowing rotation and bobbing. The neck also have their own joints, allowing rotation and leaning around. We have a unique style of butterfly joint that allows this shoulder section to hinge forward and back, with the arms able to open up and rotate, although it is a tight rotate. We have a swivel at the biceps, double jointed elbows that tightly bend until the large hands get in the way. Removing the hands so we can get a better look at the articulation, the robotic hands have articulated fingers, where each finger starts on a ball joint, then a pin jointed to allow rotation to close and open each segment of the finger, allowing a great range of poses. We have multiple joints on the body, starting with the upper chest that allows us to slightly rotate and bend back and forward. Another at the upper stomach with a similar range, and at the waist with more rotation and forward and back bending. Combining all three offers an impressive bending backwards and crunching forward. The legs do open a decent amount to the side and forward, but is blocked by the butt plate at the back. We have slight rotation at the legs here. Double jointed knees that bend all the way to the back to a tight fit thanks to the sculpting. Ankles that rotate and bend up and down and twist. And a shoe with toes that bend up and down. Romankey does state Jessica as a 1/12 scale figure, but compared to other brands she is very tall, measuring just slightly above taller than 6 inches. Compared to Figma figures, she has a good head's worth of height over them, especially on the smaller figures where the size difference is very noticeable. Even Second Axe, that is also on the slightly taller side of import figures, is slightly shorter and smaller than Jessica, making the scale slightly off when grouping up. Jada Toys, that runs on the 1/12 scale, usually has the correct scale of their figures, with shorter figures actually being shorter rather than everything measuring up to exactly 6 inches. So smaller figures will look smaller like Cammy, while the other larger figures can measure up fine to Jessica. Hasbro is more standard on the 1/12 scale, where everything is a similar size and height, and even then Jessica has a slight height advantage over the more standard size of Hasbro. McFarlane uses their own 7-inch scale that finally makes Jessica look small, although not by much surprisingly. The larger Spawn figures still look decently sized compared to Jessica, but it really goes to show that Jessica is on the larger size of the 1/12 scale that Romankey is using. Mythic Legions are on the 1/12 scale, but notorious for being real bulky and have their figures much larger than expected. At this scale and bulkiness, Jessica fits right in. Starting off with the accessories, the instructions are written by Jessica herself, crude but cute. There are no other instructions with this figure. We can also see here that some of the accessories are named after Guns N' Roses songs. First up, we have a puffy jacket made of a polyester style material with bendable wires at the collar and a stretchy elastic waist to wrap around the figure. We have more optional clothing like the different styles of underwear, ranging from bikini style to textiles. All of them are skin tight and slightly elastic. We have a cloth belt with a few purple bags and holsters attached to it. We have a set of alternate hair in a relaxed flowing style with large strands of hair flowing downwards. We have a few set of alternate face plates, starting with the excited smirking face expression, and the crazed smiling expression with glowing red eyes to complete that berserked look. Each face has adjustable eyes that can be positioned with this tool. The crosshead of the tool applies to the back of the eye, allowing rotation. We have an entire alternate body with no tattoos, and bare feet and hands pre-installed for a pre-cybernetic look. It has the exact same articulation and features of the original body, just without any cybernetics other than the neck. But we do have an accessory just for that as well, an alternate flesh neck joint. Starting off with the big weapons, we have Jessica's big gun, finely detailed and has 2 handlebars to hold onto. It also has a feature to split in half so you can attach the gun part to the robotic arms of Jessica. We have a machine gun style attachment to the robotic arms and a matching red hot rod paint job. Similar to the machine gun, we have a futuristic style cannon in the same red colors. And just in case you wanted to use both weapons at once, we have an attachment to use both of them on one arm. And a reflective blue and silver pistol weathered with fine details. We have a wide selection of hands, starting off with the trigger finger gesture, a set of hands in the open palm surprise pose, a open palmed relaxed pose, a set of hands in the pinching gesture, flat open palmed hands, and finally a set of closed fisted hands. We have a black base with the Gun Girl logo in the stylized text. It has a small section to install the arm claw into. and a metal bendable claw that can tightly grip into the figure. Romankey really struck the iron while it was hot. While the popularity of Cyberpunk was at an all-time high, they were quick enough to capitalize on the hype and started releasing teaser images of Jessica early on. While there's no dancing around the fact that this is basically a clone of Rebecca from the Cyberpunk series, Romankey did a great job making this figure their own, and unique enough to bring the figure into a more inspired area rather than a direct copy. Romankey did a great job making this figure their own, and unique enough to bring the figure into a more inspired area rather than a direct copy. Romankey built up their identity with figures that have great articulation, and Jessica lives up to that reputation. It also really helps that the character is basically nude, but the range of motion is there and posing is a breeze with the smooth joints of the figure. The quality of the figure is great, and the plastic never felt brittle. But even on the smaller hands, you will want to warm up those sockets as these joints are tiny. The deluxe version comes with an alternate body, more weapons, and a set of hands. It's a very impressive set that has tons of accessories for you to work with, and enough spare parts to just turn this set into two separate figures. The weapons are amazingly detailed, and it has that metallic paint that looks great and reflective. Some of the tolerances on the joints were a bit loose. The ankles especially don't hold a pose for me, but the large flat shoes makes balancing the figure easy, especially with those bulky arms that she can use. The extra faceplates are expressive and show a wide range of emotions, mostly psychotic, but they're good looking and match the character very well. The cloth jacket is amazing. It fits perfectly, but the underwear is skin tight and requires a ton of finessing to change, and I'm not sure it's worth changing for such a small detail like that. Although you do have the option to pose the figure completely nude if you're into displaying her like that. A figure that's aesthetically pleasing. While I suspect that most people picking up this figure are fans of Cyberpunk's Rebecca, even collectors who didn't watch the show will appreciate the quality and looks of this figure. It has a true cyberpunk look, with some impressive articulation and accessories. Romankey's Jessica has posing value that will have you constantly tinkering with the figure to display her in endless amounts of possibilities. While this is the deluxe version of the figure, the added increase in cost is well worth the additional body and faceplates and the big gun. But even on the standard version, it comes with the cloth goods and the juggernaut gloves. Overall, it's a great figure for the price. I think collectors and fans of Rebecca will be very happy with this figure. She's the closest thing we have to an Edgerunner figures until Jada Toys starts releasing even more. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, subscribe or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.